Hundreds turned out to the Mahaika Maikoni Abari Development Authority Open Day and Mini Exhibition at the Bat Settlement Tarmac, West Coast, Berbice. The activity, planned to mark the start of Agriculture Month 2011, was attended by members of the Cabinet, including presidential candidate of the ruling party, Mr. Donald Ramotar, and President Barrett Jagdeo. The presidential candidate expounded on the importance of agriculture to the economy and the need for sustenance.
In this Agricultural Month, I want to congratulate our farmers. I want to look forward to the new generation of farmers who will come forward to take up the challenges and to continue the work that we are doing at this point in time, and to ensure that farming is done in a more scientific way, using knowledge, applying our knowledge to also our traditions and practice, and ensure that our production goes up and we become the breadbasket of the Caribbean and be able to help those even further afield.
Agriculture continues to be the backbone of the Guyanese economy, contributing over 30% of gross domestic product annually and employing over 30% of the working population directly and indirectly. The sector also contributes approximately % of export earnings as well. Presidential candidate Mr. Donald Ramotar addressed residents of Cane Grove. He was at the time reflecting on the pillars upon which the People's Progressive Party Civic was built. Mr. Ramotar, in addressing the residents, drew a parallel of the period when the PPPC was demitted from office in 1964 and to the situation when democracy returned to Guyana and the PPPC returned to government.
I recall in 1964, when the PPP left office, Guyana had the highest standard of living in this country, in the Caribbean. We had a more developed society than any country in the region, the best educational system. We had such a good system that we built the University of Guyana.
The presidential candidate also noted that the standard of living drastically improved under the party's governance, alluding to the significant budgetary allocations in the social sector so that the livelihood of the populace is improved.
Today, we are spending more than 30% of our budget in the social sector. You will see that a country that spends their money on developing education and health are the countries where people are doing well.
He noted that over 30% of the budget is allocated to the social sector each year. He posited that significant infrastructural facilities have been put in place to ensure that there is development across the country. Mr. Ramotar also pointed out that emphasis is on the education and health sectors as they are a catalyst for significant development of any economy.
Information as it happens, when it happens. Get your copy today. Mary Newspaper, nationwide. The Michael Ford Bookshop provides an interesting connection into the realms of Guyana's history. Readily available to the general public are chronological history of Guyana's located beneath the home of the ruling People's Progressive Party at Freedom House. All the fragrance by the late Dr. Teddy Jackson.
Again, thousands turned out in support of the People's Progressive Party Civic at its rally at the Kitty Market Square. Mr. Ramotar, in the company of officials of the current administration, spoke to the thousands on issues which see Guyana moving forward.
The future development in our society, we have to have cheap energy so that we can go to more manufacturing, to more processing, and to create more jobs in our country.
He spoke of diversifying the energy sector and the tapping into the wind and solar energy sources so that Guyanese can be afforded reliable and cheaper energy. Mr. Ramotar also alluded to the development of human resource capital, which he sees is essential to Guyana's development, both economically and socially in the long run.
We will train more people in the science subjects, in technology. We will train more people in managerial skills, in accountancy, and skills that we need for the future development of Guyana.
Under the People's Progressive Party Civic administration, Guyana's image on the international circuit has been well received. Guyana has been a dramatic rise in foreign direct investment, which has created an avenue for further development and employment. Mr. Ramotar also noted that no Guyanese should be left out of the continuous economic and development drive started by the People's Progressive Party Civic, regardless of ethnicity, religion, race, or creed. Progress must continue. Those were the words of presidential candidate Mr. Donald Ramotar as he addressed residents of Port Morant in another of the planned community meetings.
We were paying 94 cents out of every dollar that we collected in revenue. We were servicing the debts that we had. And if you had public servant salary, debt plus the salary to public servants came up to some 110% of revenues.
Over the last 19 years, under the PPPC administration, according to the presidential candidate, the education sector has been revolutionized.
We spent a lot of money on education. Since we got in the government, we have built and refurbished more than 1,000 schools in every region of Guyana. We provide our children with textbooks, exercise books, and even now we started to give them uniforms.
In the housing sector, about 90,000 house lots have been distributed to date, while Guyana is on the road to seeking alternative energy sources with the Amalia Falls Hydro Project. The Berbice River Bridge and others are a sign that the government remains committed to infrastructural development across the country.